Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this wonderful, it's almost the solstice, just hours away from the summer solstice. And we didn't even talk about that. How are you guys doing? Eileen.
Great. I'm great. Thank you.
And we have Christine with us, Feisty Kitty. You guys know her better as.
Hi.
Hey, Feisty.
Hi. I'm so excited.
I
Yeah,
know. This is so much fun having you on here.
this is awesome. So let's see. I wanted to start this one out because, I like to plug our book whenever I can. It's right off. We've got the link below. Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe. But I came across Micah, one of my viewers, a friend, sent a Barbara Streisand. Let me actually. You guys won't see this. I just showed you, but it's the. I'm not going to play the song because I'll get a copyright strike.
Yep.
But I
Yep.
wanted to show you how I pulled this. They sent me this. Micah sent me this link, and it was Barbara Streisand, "Memories." Are you guys familiar with the song from Cats? Isn't that right?
Yes, I know that song for sure.
Right. Do you remember it as "Memory" or "Memories"?
I'm memories. How about you, Christine?
Definitely memories.
Okay, so they
Or
sent
no.
me this link, and evidently the song has been Mandela affected to be singular. It's now memory. But what was interesting is, because I covered Barbara Streisand, that I remembered it being spelled like this, Bara at the end instead of Bra, and that was like a huge Mandela effect for me. But nobody else seen it. So when I came across this video and it had two residual things in it, I just thought it was kind of cool that it's got Barbara Streisand and Memories. So,
Okay, so everybody, we can't get a copyright strike if we sing it. Everybody think about the song Memories from Cats. Memories, la 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 la. I don't
right?
remember the words.
Yeah, but it's memory. It's
Memories. They
crazy
don't
to
even
hear it
say
now.
like memories. They don't sing memories.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So now let's sing it the other way, the way it really is supposed to be right now.
And now it's memory.
Mm,
Memory. No.
That sounds wrong to me.
yeah, it does.
Memory. Da 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 da. It just sounds so wrong.
So I don't know. Let me check out the chat and see what people are saying there. Let me split this and get both
But
of
it's
our
also
attention.
like the other songs are going from plural to singular, right? The songs that had eyes in it, eyes, loving eyes, turn to I.
Mm-hmm.
You got that loving eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember? Years ago,
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
just weird.
which goes along with the message of unity. If things are going from plural, the many, to the one, now we're talking memory
Yeah.
instead of memories, like we all have a collective memory.
Yep. I thought it was interesting because the Mandela effect's all about memories, right?
Exactly. And it's all about, do we have a collective consciousness? Are
Yeah.
we sharing a human memory and a memory complex
Right.
that we all tap into?
Right. So that's interesting,
That's very interesting.
and I love when a Mandela effect seems to affect something that has to do with the Mandela effect, and that's memories, definitely. That's what it's all about. And then to have her name spelled the way I remembered it, it was like seeing a video from the old reality. Just for that moment, I can just stare at that and think, "Wow, that's from the old world."
I
Someone
like it
else.
when you get a two
Yeah.
for one, like Tom Hanks in being Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood after he was in all those other ones, or Sally Field being involved in something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like she's the mom of Forrest Gump, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and then Sally Beauty Supply. It's just weird
Yeah.
that, and that's another one where it lost the S. Definitely Sally's Beauty Supply. It was so
Yeah, and
funny.
O'Reilly's Auto
Oh,
Parts.
is it
It's an S,
O'Reilly
but
now?
it's O'Reilly now.
Oh my God, I didn't know about
O'Reilly,
that one.
O'Reilly.
That's a trip. That's a trip.
That's a trip. And Cheez Its, it lost its plural. It's Cheese It.
Yeah,
Cheese
yeah.
It. Just have a Cheese It.
What?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Cheez It now. like
It's
like it,
Cheese It,
it's
not
more of an
Cheese Its.
action, like it's a command. Cheese it. You know what I
Cheese It. Put the
mean?
cheese on that cracker now.
Right.
I think
So
I got a
that's
box of those in the cupboard. I want to go check right now.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy when you see it. Especially when it's like something that, like when it's a Bible scripture or something, you're like, well, I know my Bible said this. And then it's like under the highlighter, it's changed. You know?
Yeah, under the highlighter that you highlighted and memorized,
Right?
and now it's different, which is why I always love your map. You got to just give us the map occasionally to show us what else has changed on your map that you drew, that you created. That's all off now, you know? It's
Yeah.
all changing.
I just had to tell my friend that they had changed the Lord's Prayer in the Bible just last weekend. I was telling her this, and she was really kind of freaked out by that.
Oh yeah.
She went to Catholic school, you know, she had definitely had that memorized, and she was really weirded out by the fact that it was no longer that way.
Yeah. That's a,
And that was the removal of trespassers, right? Into
Yeah,
debtors.
and debtor, yeah.
yeah.
And I think they took out forgiveness or forgiving or something.
That's the one where it's like on earth, now it says in earth or
That's
something.
interesting. That is an interesting change in Earth.
On earth as it is in heaven, but now it's in earth
Mhm.
as it is in heaven, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of weird ones with that one. It's like,
I think it's time for me to check my Bible again from 1985 when I bought it to get through the New Testament and Old Testament at Loyola University, where we had to study every page and know that Bible. But you memorized it. Me, it was in one ear, out the other. Just get me through the class, you know?
right. Well, a lot of it was just when you read something over and over and over again, you just get that rhythm of it, and that you can
Yeah.
tell if something's been changed. It just sounds completely different, you know. So, but a lot of, you know, with all the different translations with the Bible, it's hard to like really pinpoint something because if you have been the type of person to check out different translations, you're like, well, maybe I read that somewhere else. Because that's how I did with the debtors.
Yeah,
I thought, oh, that must be a different, you know,
that's a
before
different
you
version of the
realize,
Bible.
yeah,
Yeah.
before you realize there's a Mandela effect, of course you're going to think it's something like that, you know? You're not going to think it's impossibly changed. Right?
That's kind of like the obvious go-to. Like, I'll post a Mandela effect, and somebody might comment, "Oh, companies change their logos all the time,"
Right,
and we're like, "Well, that's the obvious thing to say, but you obviously haven't researched it to
right,
see that the company says they've never changed their logo.
right.
The company says it's always been like this, like the Volkswagen logo since 1937.
Yeah,
It's always had the brake since
right.
1937."
That's crazy, you know?
Yeah, but people
And
are commenting and not thinking and doing the research first.
I never remembered the little curly Q on the F and the Ford
No way.
either, you know. No. No, no, no.
And you know, I was even thinking about like when I was first learning to write in cursive, and how weird the R was, and
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at the Ford logo's R because it had that weird cursive R, and now it looks like an X almost. It looks like they tried to put a regular R in there and then just kind of connect it. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like
Yeah.
a cursive R. You know?
And like you showed us Purple Rain was changing, and I think it was on like who's that show where they do Sandy, Diva, and Teresa, Reality Residue Hunter? Curious and Curiouser. They
Hmm.
also have a Facebook page, and somebody put up Corona, and the C is splitting in the middle. So it's like a line, like an L or an I, and an R. So look up Corona, guys, for Corona beer, and see if you think that C is splitting, is changing. I mean, you can look it up right now if you want to throw it up on the screen.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it here.
But I wasn't a huge fan or drinker of Corona, so I can't say absolutely because I bought that every week. You know, other people can.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't drink. That one's going to go right over my head.
But I see what they mean about the C not looking like a C anymore. Reminds me of.
Oh, like that New English sort of, or whatever, Old English.
So doesn't it look like a parentheses and an R, a little R at the top?
Absolutely. Let me pull this up for everybody to see here.
And what they're saying is it's changing, and that split between in the C is getting bigger to make it look a little stranger. I think. I think that's what they were indicating.
I should bring this in where you guys can look at it too. Just let me share screen. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Let's bring this up here. You guys can see this, right?
Yep.
See, it keeps opening this up. But this is, yeah, it looks almost like CR.
Yeah, and like the C is looking like a moon. isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the split between the C and the R, the moon and the R is wider.
See, I definitely remember it having like that old English look, but I don't
Yep.
remember this being so tall and like higher than the C. This seems like it should be smaller in here and the C should be more prominent, you know? But
Well, you want to hear something weird? I know people who jokingly call it the Rona. Have you heard that?
yeah,
So I think that could be collective consciousness changing that C and
right,
making the R come out so it looks like Rorona,
right,
Ro- Corona, Rorona.
right.
And people call it the Rona, don't they, as a joke?
yeah,
I don't know if that's a joke. I'm not trying to make light of the subject, but it is kind of a nickname.
yeah. I don't know, man. These are weird, you
I
know?
see R. I just if that R just pops out at me now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that doesn't look the same as it used to.
It doesn't look the same as it used to, definitely not. But I can't really like when I see this down here. Like that almost looked right. See, I think the C used to come around up here, and then like
Yeah,
the
so there wasn't a
R.
split between the two of them.
Right, exactly. That's what looks weird is it's split.
Something was different.
It's giving it that
But then
crescent.
people will say, "Oh, they've changed their calligraphy, their label." Then you'll go do the research, like they have, and they have no evidence of the company saying, "Oh yeah, we just changed our label."
Right. Look at that. That's just the regular old C on that one.
Yeah,
But I definitely remember that old English, you know, the weird looking. It just didn't look like this. It's just, yeah, that R is so prominent now.
interesting, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
So I just think everything's shifting and changing all the time, and we just don't pay attention. We're thinking of other things, we're focusing on other things, so we don't notice all the changes
Yeah,
around us. You know?
absolutely. All right, so let's talk about ESETI.
Go on, Christine. You're our special guest tonight, today, this afternoon.
Do we want to start with images or do you want to talk about first just the overall experience?
I think putting an image up would help us talk
Yes.
about it because the images tell the story, right?
Okay, yeah, okay. So I'm going to share the screen again and we'll get the first images up. Let me
Guess
go
I better
full
put my
screen.
glasses on.
And do you want to like zoom in on that? So, I mean, obviously that's a screenshot from my phone. There we go. Now we're in it. We're actually in the image.
All
So
right.
I went and had a private ESETI experience with Christine, just the two of us. And it was a long journey for me, but it was so worth it because there were only about how many people do you think were there that Thursday night when we arrived? It was like empty
Yeah, it was empty. I mean, there was maybe what, 12, 15?
at Skywatch.
Yeah.
So that was the
Yeah.
Thursday, and it was really, really empty. And that's when that photo was taken. That's the first photo in the field of the night. So we watched Skywatch for a couple hours till like it started at 10. So we're out in the field by 11:30.
Yes, definitely.
So by this image, you guys felt alone, but you you weren't really alone. It looks like it.
Well, we went out in the field and we meditated in the Palladian Circle earlier that day, and we
Mhm.
asked for contact together that we could remember and have evidence of. We're like, come on, let's really ask for it all. Why ask for, oh, can you send me a light? We're like, no, can you get us, pick us up, and let us remember it and let us have the evidence, right? That was what we asked.
Hmm. That is.
So, Christine, you talk about those first images because those are the very first of the night. Just me and Christine in the field in front of Mount Adams. Nobody else out there. Everybody else back in their rooms.
And yeah, we were sort of hoping that we would get that plasma fog
Yeah.
to come rolling in. And we were just sort of sitting there and we could see it starting to creep in and we were just waiting. And I had a sweatshirt on. I had my hands in my little kangaroo pocket in the front, but my phone was sitting on my lap.
Mhm.
And we were sitting there and we're just kind of giggling and watching. And then all of a sudden, my phone just starts snapping pictures by itself.
Oh wow.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we looked at each other, and I'm like,
They're here.
must be picture time, So we hopped up and just started snapping some pictures.
Dancing in the field, giggling in the field, recreating everything that happened with John Binney and Nancy and Shiny that had the biggest effect, like just bringing joy, right? Just
Yeah.
goofing off. And then we see this yellow light. Do you see the yellow light? I don't know if it looks very yellow towards the center. Pay attention to that because that's going to come up later in the sky, that yellow one. We think the orange ones that are moving might be Bigfoot because when we were there, Shane, didn't they say orange lights precede Bigfoot? See the orange ones to the left?
Yeah, and they look like they're moving, kind of. Yeah.
They're moving. Now, you see the sparkles, the little dots?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show Christine because those are supposedly the fairies that Nancy saw as fairies. You'll see just little dots. We see it as glitter
Right.
and sparkles. And what did James tell you that they were?
James says that's just prana, just like life force energy.
Right.
And I'm guessing that the sparkles come before the field fills up with orbs. So maybe that's the beginning of an orb. I don't know, because the next picture was taken immediately after this, and you'll see what happened to all those sparkles. See?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So one lady saw them as fairies. James, who is the expert there, sees it as prana. And our sparkles came, and then these came. So I think they might be the beginning of an orb entering our dimension, maybe? I'm guessing.
Or I think that they precede contact.
Precede contact.
This is so many of them, too. Holy cow.
Your friends from that other YouTube show got a bunch of those on an old camera the previous year. Do you remember?
Yeah, this is so wild.
Look at the two attached. They look like twins. They look identical, and they're attached.
That is strange to have these little dots on some of them.
And then before that, all you saw was sparkles, right? The picture before is just sparkles.
Yeah, and then it turns.
See the sparkles?
And the other ones went away, like the orange and the yellow.
The orange lights and the yellow light. But those were actual lights that I could see them. You could see them too. Right, Christine?
Yes.
Okay, so if you go to the next picture, we're facing Mount Adams. And I look, let's see, facing Mount Adams, which is north. And I look to, I always get my directions turned around there. It's really weird, but nowhere else. I looked to the, okay, wait, I got to reenact it in my mind. I looked to the left. You know that big field where people said they heard ancient Indian drumming?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that big field?
Okay, so this would be like if I turn to my right, Mount Adams would be there then. So this is kind of looking to the left of Mount Adams.
This is looking to the left. And I go, Christine, look to the left. Because she's got the camera.
Now, what did this look like to you?
Like that, but brighter. There was like all these, like we're standing straight. So she took that image head on. So those lights are coming down. Those lights are going like this. Wah, so slow. Slower than that.
Because this one right here looks so familiar to me. This one that looks like a bee, I think. Don't you zoom in on this?
Yeah, later.
Yeah.
But first
I think I sent that picture to you on one of your Friday Night Lives.
Okay.
So that's what we see in the sky, and we're like, oh, it's an armada of little spaceships landing in the field next to us because they don't want to blast us with their energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're jumping up and down and waving and going, we're here, come on, we want to go on board.
We love you.
We love you. We're ready. We're not scared. And then the next picture, that's the only photo we got, and we just blew them up, and that's the top of it.
Right. Yeah, that's the one I was just wanting to zoom in on because of this little trail down here.
Yeah, you've gotten that. You've gotten that trail on other photos.
Yeah, and I like how it's showing that it's. I don't know if this was the shutter staying open or 4 different.
That was a one single shot on an Android, no shutter speed.
Oh,
that is one. That photo is one. No, it's from the video. You're right. We actually took a 10-second video that we're all going to see.
Okay, and this was a screenshot of that video, so it is.
This is a screenshot of the video.
Okay.
through
Yeah.
KindMaster, where you can shoot any frame,
Right.
frame by frame by frame. Look at the top of it. Doesn't that look like the Spaceship Enterprise, or the way they make the Millennium Falcon look? It's very round
Yeah. That's wild.
and it's very metallic. I mean, can you see the metal at the very top instead of lights?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking here, and it looks like there's something all the way out in here. You know what I mean? Like it's just not illuminated as much, but it's very faint. I can see it all the way over here, and then coming around there. It's almost round. You know. But this must.
Christine, what do you think? The lights, do you think they look the down at the bottom? They look like starlight, don't they? They're so bright. They're so white.
Yeah,
Those ones in the middle.
It didn't look like any other light that I've seen. I mean, it definitely looked like starlight.
We really felt that we were getting a landing. We were like, oh my God, here it
Yeah,
comes.
you could feel there was a real intensity and an electricity almost in the air. I mean, we knew.
But they snuck up on us because we were facing the mountain, and that's not where they landed.
Here's the part. This is okay. So this is that same picture, just a different part of it, correct?
It's the bottom bit. That's the
Right.
same picture, bottom bit. Now, as you zoom in, there's a yellow light right below it. The rest are all kind of white.
This yellow one here. These are.
Yep.
Yeah, and this one's even more goldish a little bit.
Yep.
Nala.
So this
Yeah.
this here looks like another image that you had sent me,
Yep.
Christine, on the Friday
Yes.
Night Love stream. Okay.
It's in the shape of a what? A little dipper, big dipper, an upside down dipper. And we're like, my sister calls it the shell. She's like, oh, it looks like a shell. And then when you zoom in, which we've zoomed in on an Android. We're like, no, that's a window. That's a window. And there's 4 different beings standing in the window with the light behind them turned on, going, well, come on, girls, get your photo. Get it. How long do we have to
Oh my
stand here?
gosh.
Because we were meditating, going, please let us remember. Please let us have proof that you're real.
Okay, so
that-
these would be like the heads, and these are
Mhm.
like the bodies.
Yep.
Yes.
Ah, a head and a body. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So we're seeing their silhouette in a window.
That's
Correct.
what we think.
Yeah, that could totally be that. Yeah.
I mean, we can't prove it.
I'd showed that picture. I've showed that picture to a ton of people, but my friend from this weekend, she looked at it and she immediately said, look at that, Christine. Obviously, those 2 to the right are you and Eileen. Looking
Go ahead and
back
show
at
the next
yourself.
one while she's saying that, because we got another blow up, a bigger blow up.
Ah, okay.
I never thought of that.
So this is more like a divider in the window, and then the 4 beings, I guess.
But
Yes.
I never thought of that. The 2 on the far right are in the shape of humans.
Yeah.
And the 2 on the left are definitely not in the shape of humans.
No.
In fact, my friends say the far one, like a hammerhead shark, is ET. They're like, oh my God, ET's real.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It looks like ET, or we're talking about these triangular shaped head beings. And I thought it might kind of, you just can't really tell, but yeah, either or, you know. Yeah.
And see the yellow light? Do you see the
Yeah.
yellow light under it that was in the field? We feel like it was a drone that they sent off the ship to go, okay, who's in the Assetti field tonight?
Right.
Playing in the dark with no flashlights and everybody else in bed. And then they're like, oh, it's Eileen and Christine. They want us to come down. Okay.
You know,
Off we go.
They're not scared. Okay, they check out. Let's go.
That's awesome.
I mean, we can't prove what the pictures are, but they haven't been adjusted, filtered. They haven't been, nothing's been done to them. They've just literally been blown up, like what you're doing, zooming in.
Okay, I need to get to the other folder here.
Should we talk about what happened after that, Eileen?
Well, we forgot to talk about the first video, which happened right before it.
Should we play the
And-
video now, or?
Just play the first one
Okay.
because we forgot that part. After we saw the orange light and the yellow light, after the orbs came in, there was a rectangular light came into the field with us. And didn't you say James and others call that the square orb when they view
Yes.
it from far?
Yes.
So we
And they
just
were very excited that we caught it on camera, because so far they hadn't been able to catch it on camera.
And it's this rectangular white light right here?
Yeah, that's in the field with us, eye level.
And it
what would you
changes
say?
colors.
How far away
Yeah,
is
I
it?
can see it. Like, it looks like it gets really red, and I even see a little green and blue sometimes, but it looks like it's primarily white, but I do see green and blue and orange and red and all sorts of stuff.
So we were like, hello, is that a flashlight? Is that a rectangular flashlight? Like, how big would it be? And I think it was like,
And it was moving, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was floating. He was floating and dancing all
like
over the
this,
place.
like not moving straight up, straight down, straight. It was just moving around.
Yeah, it wasn't like if somebody were walking with a flashlight, there would be kind of a rhythm to it.
Right.
It was not like that at all.
So we walked up to it to see if it was people, and as soon as we got near it, it just disappeared. We're like, okay, bye. And there was nobody in the field. We just kept walking and like, all right, we're alone out here. That light joined us, and that was right before the landing. We got that light.
This is so cool. So how far would you guys say you were away from it when it disappeared? Like a football field away or within?
Oh, no, we were pretty close.
I'd say 10 or 20 feet away. We walked pretty far to get to it. It was almost like a litmus test, because as we're talking to it, it doesn't talk back, but we keep walking to it. And we're like, are anybody holding that light? And we keep going to it. So it's almost like, are these people going to walk right up to the light? Is that how brave they are? And we tried to, but as soon as we got within 10, 20 feet, it just blinked out.
Yeah, we definitely should have. I mean, whoever, if it were a person holding a light, they definitely would have heard us and responded.
Or we would have heard them run away in the crunchy,
there
dry
was no
field.
crunching. Yeah, that was a very dry field.
That's wild.
Not the last episode, but the episode before of Skinwalker Ranch on the History Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like an Isetti and there's a mesa and they get lights on the mesa. And they run around in camouflage with guns and try to catch and shoot aliens. I mean, it's really sad, but that's what they do there.
All right.
Not the last episode, but the episode before the last one, they're all excited on TV going, guys, there was a rectangular light in the field. And they're like, oh my God, yeah, 3 of us saw it. And they think, and they've got no photographic evidence, no video evidence, but I believe them because I know what it looks like. And they go, well, what happened? And the guy goes, I took my gun out and I walked up to it to shoot it. He didn't say to shoot it, but he took his gun out. And he said, as soon as I aimed my gun at the light, it disappeared. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Who would aim a gun at a light? Who's going to run out there going, we want visitation. We want to see you, aliens. And then as soon as you get an indication of them, whip your gun out.
Right. Oh, my goodness. And then we wonder why they don't stop by our planet, right?
Right. They lock the doors as they fly over Earth,
right.
So Skinwalker Ranch, guys, not that you're watching, but we got it on film. We got the rectangular light on video. But our rectangular light likes us because we don't have guns and we didn't try to shoot it.
And we talk nice to it.
Exactly. We talk nice to it.
Exactly.
Hello, light. Who are you? What are you?
Like, hi, you're cute.
It is. It is like putting that. They sense that energy, So when you're putting out that joy and all of that, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I guess they would feel duped, right? If you're putting out that joy and all of a sudden you bust out your gun, you're like, all right, let's shoot it.
Gotcha.
No, we are safe. We are the safe humans. So the next video is actually the video of the landing. And what is really strange is how short it is. It's like 10 seconds long. And then Christine very obediently turns it off, puts down her phone. And then we had about 3 hours of missing time. I think When we got back in the field, it was freezing cold and it was 3:30 in the morning.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, let's see. Yeah, it was about 11 o'clock when we went out there. So we'll say about 11:30-ish when the landing happened. And then when we got back to the field, yeah, it was freezing, and we just
Freezing.
scooted real fast into the guest house, and it was 3:46 a.m.
Because somebody came out to say, where have you guys been? We went into the
Yeah.
field. We looked for you because we told people we were going into the field who were in the guest house. And they're like, we couldn't find you. We were worried about you. Like, why would you be out till 3:45 in the morning?
Yeah, there was a bunch of them. There was a bunch of people. They like got other people to come and help them look for us in the field, and we were
Wow.
not there.
That's exciting.
That is so cool. Now, of course, if Shane was there, he would be up and out in the field till 5 a.m. You were the only one who didn't sleep.
I would have got it all on tape.
You would have gotten it all. You would have been on the ship. No, you would have put your phone down and you would have stopped filming and you would have been gone. Because the fact that she stops filming means that something took over our actions. Because you would have
when
filmed
you-
that to the end, right?
Yeah, when you got something landing in the field in front of you and you already have your camera out and you're filming it, and just sort of all of a sudden,
Stop.
okay, we'll just go and sit down back in our chairs where we were and just wait patiently.
For 3.5 hours.
And then nobody see you sitting there patiently for 3 hours.
And they
so-
were calling us, and they were all over, because we told them what part of the field we were going to. I mean, they knew where to look, and we were supposed to be there.
But that rectangular light drew us to the other end of the field because we wanted to check it out and say, are those people? So we did the whole field in that time. We walked from one side to the other.
Wow.
Yeah, but we definitely would have known if there were people, a bunch of people out there
We
calling.
would have
for
heard
us.
them. We would have heard them. So for some strange reason, Christine filmed it for 10 seconds, turned the camera off, and the next thing we know, it's 3:45 in the morning and we're running into the guest house to get warm. So do you want to play that one?
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yay!
Okay. Let's
This is
see.
where we got all those still frames through KindMaster on the Android. You just like,
Okay,
Stop
this is
the
it right here, right?
this is it, guys.
Okay.
In front of the camera. That was my hand.
How do you flip it the other way?
That's
I
it?
have enough body heat in my fingers.
Now, Christine says
I think
that's
it's
my
the finger.
finger, or your finger,
Oh.
right? The
Camera.
purple is our fingers.
Yeah, the purple is the finger. I'm sorry. I have the
But
That's
this,
tablet propped up on the cat tree, and the cat is really annoyed with me about that.
The cat's in the show. Okay, so
Welcome
now
on.
here
so
I
yeah,
just slowed it down.
okay, so this is the picture we saw the still images of.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to morph into the picture where the window that looked like you guys were in it, or no? Or is that a different one?
We don't know. It's called magic because somehow we got the video. Do you think those still frames came from did you take a single shot of the landing as well as the video?
Yeah, I took a single shot of it, and then you told me. I think you told me to turn on the video. And I
Okay,
went,
so
yeah, I
all
did."
those blow up images then actually came from the single shot, which is a lot clearer than the video because the video doesn't have all the detail.
No, but it's the dots are still there. But you know, whenever you're recording video, it can't allow as much light in, so it's going to be naturally darker than an image.
Oh,
So that's why
okay.
the images were probably clearer.
Well, this is the first time we're showing this stuff, so we're figuring it out as we go along with you because we haven't shown it anywhere or organized it.
That's amazing. That's something going on there for sure.
Do you see the little
Something
lights
over here too, huh?
going in and out? And then on the right, the lights are like twinkling on and
Mhm.
off in that circle. Or I think that's the thing I said was a little dipper, big dipper with them in it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that would be right over here, I think. But
But
the
it
way
did
it's twinkling,
lot
you're
of
not
it out.
noticing. Yeah.
It cut a lot out.
But you notice, I know you said that's your finger, but what I did notice there is that you can see them both at the same time.
You can see them through the finger, so
Yeah,
I'm not
see?
sure the purple is the
Maybe
finger.
that's not. Maybe that's not. Why would my finger be purple anyway?
Right.
I would kind of imagine it would be pink or red.
Yeah.
Let me
Did
slow
you guys
this
see
down.
the lights through the purple?
That's what made me think like, well, I don't know if it's something blocking the camera because I definitely saw lights at the same time that I
So we
saw the
might have
purple.
we might have gotten blasted with the purple light and just caught it on the film. If you go to the beginning of the thing, you'll see more purple light. I allow more of it in the beginning because that's 100% of the video right
There
there.
it was. I was trying to stop right on that spot. Yes.
There you go. I saw it. I saw the lights through the purple.
Oh, I just saw something else that.
What?
Oh, but just looked like maybe it's my screen, but when the whole thing goes purple, it looked like there was like a dark spot kind of in the middle.
Oh, let's go.
And I was trying to.
There we go. Now we got the purple and the lights.
Oh,
So
look
it's
at
not
that.
your finger. It's not your finger blocking.
No, sure isn't.
It's almost like plasma energy or something, this purple
Yeah.
light.
It hit the whole camera though, so we got blasted with the purple.
Well, we asked for a healing also, and I've heard that the violet flame or the violet light is a healing
Light.
light.
It's the first violet that we got out there. We've gotten other colored lights out there.
See it going in waves though?
Yes.
Like left or right to left? That's not a
Mhm.
finger in front of it, or it wouldn't be pulsating like that.
Okay,
can't
so
really
we've never
tell.
never
Ooh,
analyzed this.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
super cool, Shane. See, we needed you to analyze it, and then it goes down into like a finger shape. That's maybe why we said, "Oh, it's our finger." See, now it's like the shape of a finger before it disappears, but it's not. It's a light.
Here you can see the lights through the purple a little bit again.
So it's not a finger in front of the camera.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, I don't know what you got there, but it sure is cool. I love the purple energy or whatever that is, pulsating. And you can definitely see it's pulsating when you got it on slow.
There, I see the dark thing in the middle. There's a dark spot in the middle that doesn't have purple. See?
Yeah, right in here.
That's weird.
Yeah, there it is again.
Wow. So I just slowed it down last night on KindMaster and sent it to you. I haven't really looked at them. So it's like we're all doing this together for the first time.
Look at that. That almost looks like, I don't know, I can see the dipper shape you were talking about for a second
Yeah.
there. It came all the way to here and it had the...
And do you see that little light to the right? I think that's the window. I think that where you just pointed, I think, no. And it within that twinkly section, there's a one light that doesn't twinkle. I think that's the window.
Oh, okay.
But who knows? Because this is as good as KindMaster gets.
It's pretty good, though. It's pretty good.
It's not bad. Slowed it down to 25% of its normal speed.
Okay, so now I have another section of images, I think. We're going to look at these again. Okay, this is the second half of those. So here's that window again from the still image.
Yeah, that's just, I guess. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just threw these out there because on the last night, which I think was the Sunday night, we went out with a lady that Christine had met there. I won't say her name because we don't have her permission. And we were in the field and just the orbs came, not lights and not a landing and not the sparkles. And we split up and they noticed that I was raising my head talking to a huge orb right above my head.
Right there.
And I think you shot that one, didn't you, Christine?
Yeah.
That almost looks like a face in there, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God.
So I was facing Christine and I felt this presence walk up behind me and I could feel its energy. And I was like, whoa, that's big and powerful. I couldn't see the orb with my eyes. So I just put my head up to where I thought its head would be. And I was just like, well, who are you? You know,
I feel you, yes.
I feel you. What are you doing in the field? Are you Bigfoot? Are you a visitor? You know, I just started talking to it, and that's when you went and took the shots. If you look at the next two shots, I zoom in on the face.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean, that's a huge orb. I've never seen an orb that big. It's bigger than my head. I don't think it is an orb. The orbs around it are quite small, and then it's big.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see eyes and the mouth almost looks like.
Yep, nose, ears.
Yeah. Very
Yeah, that
3D too.
looks like
Very
a lion's face to me.
A lion, you said?
A lion's face, yeah.
Yeah, I can see a lion for sure.
I've heard people say lion, Bigfoot, and dragon. I see
Yeah.
lion, definitely. And isn't that who James communicates the most with, are the lion beings?
Oh, there's closer.
He does communicate with them. I guess they don't come through as often as I thought they did,
Mm-hmm.
because they've come through every time that I've been there. But then he's told me that I am very connected with the lion beings, and being feisty kitty, I guess that makes
Oh,
sense.
of course.
That's
So
cool.
can you see the face there? I can. I can
Oh,
see two big
absolutely.
eyes, a nose, a mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know if those are ears or hair sticking out.
I can almost see an alien head, like it, like if you imagine that's, I don't know, not really. I guess I see the shape of the head like this even.
I do too. So that's a lot bigger than my head,
Yeah.
than my face. I was so happy when you took those pictures because
That's awesome.
all I could do is come up to you and go, wow, there's this really big thing behind me. And I turned and talked to it. And you're like, yeah, I got the pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And then after the landing, the next day I went out into the field at
What the heck?
sunset. And there were clouds everywhere, no sun. So I know that's not from the sun. What's that called?
Oh, a
Shane?
lens flare? Yeah, definitely.
It's not a lens flare.
Nope,
Yeah.
I
not a
could see it
lens
with my eyes. I didn't need a camera. And this blue turquoise light followed me. I did the walk around the field alone in meditation, like a lot of people do. And this thing followed me the whole way, and it would zip in the trees, out of the trees, in the trees, out of the trees. And I'm like, you're following me. And so I stopped and got my camera out and took that without a flash. That even looks like a cat, like two big cat eyes
Yep.
and two big
I
cat
could
ears.
see the two cat ears like poking up. Yep.
But it's
I
definitely
love that
the shape
color,
of
though.
Merkaba. Merkaba, right? That's a Merkaba.
Oh, yep. I can definitely see the Merkaba too. You can see the, yep.
So, right, that's what Cody and I
Wow.
saw the when we all met up there together, and you guys were out there dancing in the plasma and disappearing, and
John Binney,
Yeah.
Not So Fancy
Yeah.
Nancy,
and so
Shiny
that's
Walkers.
what Cody and I saw come bobbing across on top of the fog, all the way over to where we were camped, and and he saw clearly the star spinning inside the orb and the little, and he's smacking me on the shoulder. There's a little dude in it, Mom. There's a little dude.
He could see the dude in it.
He could see the guy, and he was sitting like in meditation, crisscross applesauce,
Wow.
in there. And yeah, it was very, very clear. And
Wow.
it sort of had that, that opalescent
Yeah, this is
look to
amazing.
it inside with the color changing.
It really
Oh.
does have a jewel look about it, like the color in it.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. I mean, probably the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen.
We didn't see it in the field. John, Binney, Nancy, Shiny, and me, we didn't see the Merkaba in the field that you guys saw.
Yeah.
And you said it was in the field with us. You're like, you knew we were in there
it
because
was
you could
right
hear
over by
us.
you.
Yep.
That is so cool
So
to
we
use
can
it.
see
Okay,
you
use
guys
them
were
in it.
surrounded by orbs.
Yeah, we didn't even catch the orbs. We caught lights shooting down around us. We got those on film, and we got our hands and faces disappearing in the plasma. But we didn't get pictures. We got maybe a couple of, we did. We got a couple of orbs around Shiny and Nancy. But we did not get a Merkaba. We never got the Merkaba on video or still photography
This is
that
awesome.
you guys saw.
Yeah, this
There it is.
awesome. That's it. That's
Lots
amazing
of
that you can
triangles.
see that. Yeah, you can see that shape to it. You can tell it's like spinning and everything. It's really
Yeah, you
neat.
can see the angles very clearly.
And it would spin like blue and then turquoise and then blue and turquoise. It had two colors, but the shot that I got was just like, what would you call that? The turquoise shot, like half
Mhm.
green, half blue.
Yeah, it almost does look more purpley or bluish on this side over here on the right, and then more
So I
turquoise.
guess that side would come over and it'd be blue, and then the other side would flip around
Mhm.
and it'd be that turquoisey green.
Yeah. That looks amazing, though.
But I do see a cat image in the overall image of it. If I had to say what does that remind you of, I'd say it's a cat.
Yeah, definitely. You can see an
Yeah.
eye, the nose, and then the
Two pointy
ears,
ears,
and even the
whiskers.
whiskers. And yeah,
Whiskers.
I see it. I totally see it. It's a
It was
feisty
me,
kitty.
Eileen. I was following you.
That was you and your
Yeah.
Merkaba.
You were inside meditating or having a nap or whatever. Our days and nights got so flipped over there.
That is awesome, though.
And I could see it with my eyes, so it wasn't a lens flare for sure, because I'm like, I can see you. I'm going to get my camera out and just take a quick picture. And I thought it would disappear when I brought the camera out, and it didn't. So I was like, yay, let me get a shot.
Yeah, you for sure have to. I mean, that right there, there's no way that's a lens flare or anything like that. You'd have the light source at the opposite part, you know?
Yeah,
And that
and it
is
was all
the only light
clouds.
source. So,
It was all clouds, and I could see it with my eyes. I didn't need a camera. Because lens flares, you can only see through the camera lens. You can't see it with your eyeballs.
so did it look, with your naked eye, did it look solid or did it look like it was just sort of etheric light? Or what?
It looked like a spinning light, blue turquoise, like a light was following me. And it was a good 150 feet away from me. What is that, half a football field? I don't know. How big is a football field? I don't even know.
Probably
The
what,
football
300?
field's what, 120 yards, I believe.
Oh, way too big. It was about 150 feet away from me, always behind me, dipping in the trees, dipping out, like it was shy and playing with me.
It was playing with you, yeah.
It was trying to get my attention by going in and out of the trees, because I'm like, okay, I see you. I'm going to keep walking, doing my
No
meditation.
sound.
No sound. Oh, you're still there. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, you're in the trees, and then it would pop out. It was amazingly playful. So that has to be someone I know. That has to be either my cosmic family or a guide.
But still, if it was an actual person or something, it was close enough that they would have been making sounds and rustling around.
Yeah,
and
it
all.
wasn't a person, but whatever entity, thought form, being that was in that light knew me,
Right.
because it was playing with me. So it had to know me.
That is so cool.
I mean, it knew I wouldn't run away. It knew that I'd be like curious, like, can I get a shot of you? Are you going to just like disappear when I bring my camera out like they usually do?
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I think we're going to probably have to do a BQH and figure out what happened with your missing time, right?
Yeah.
That'd be
And
cool.
Christine, do you remember anything of the time, the 3 hours, 3.5 hours with them after the landing? Do you remember anything?
I don't remember it, but I know that the feeling I had when we came back was like, oh my God, that was like the best thing ever, but I didn't know what it was.
Oh my
I
gosh,
had-
that sounds like, yeah.
You know what I
Me
mean?
too.
I've had
Me
dreams like
too.
that.
And
where-
I felt like I had gotten really vital information or an upgrade or something, but I didn't know what.
Me
But I
too.
just
And I was a
felt like
little
I knew.
disappointed. Like, I wanted to know. I wanted to remember the time in the ship with the beings. And I'm
Mhm.
like, why? There must be a good reason they're just not letting us know that, remember that, and share that with people. Like, oh,
Right.
they took us to the cockpit and then they said, see, this planet over here, this is where we didn't get any of that.
No,
Or
but I
you
do
don't
feel like
remember
we
if you
got
did.
information. Like we got information about, your mission here, or, and you'll know what to do when it's time.
And I also
You
got
don't
like a
want to be
healing.
thinking
Did you
about
get a
it.
healing? I felt like really refreshed and energetic. I felt
Oh,
better.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably clearing and healing and probably even upgrades. There's no telling what kind of cool stuff they did for
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt way better than I did when we went into the
Yes.
experience. I know that.
I was really tired and really exhausted from the trip and all the stuff going on with COVID and stuff. I was like exhausted when I got there. And after that night, I was like zoomies,
Mhm.
like when dogs run around the house, right?
Yeah.
I was doing my zoomies.
Yeah. We had that childlike energy. I mean, we were pumped.
And every night we saw this orange light in the sky. And everybody thought it was normal, except for me and Christine. We're like, what is that orange light? And people would look at it and go, oh, that's interesting, and change the subject. Or they'd go, it's Mars. It's got to be Mars. Do you remember? Do you
Oh,
remember the orange
absolutely.
light
Yeah,
over the
and it
trees?
didn't. So we would watch this thing all night long, and the
Every night.
stars rotate in the sky. They move, they change position, but not this thing.
Not this thing. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. It's
It was
right over the same trees.
just at treetop level, and it was huge,
And it was bright and it was orange.
very orange.
And nobody cared. Nobody but us. So we thought, well, maybe they can't see it. Maybe we're only seeing it. And they're like, oh, yeah, I see it. So what did you watch last night? I mean, they just didn't care about that light.
Is it your
Like
family?
they were hypnotized. Like,
That light wasn't there for them.
that light wasn't there for them, but we did make sure they could see it, so we weren't going crazy, right? They could see it. They just didn't care about it. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's an interesting light."
It
And
reminds me of
wasn't-
the Mandela effect when you tell people about, oh yeah, that's cool. So
That's what I'm relating it to.
Yeah.
Everybody there, and there were hardly any people there because they had a huge conference the weekend before. So when we went, it was empty, which was awesome because it just means it's like more peaceful and private and quiet and stuff. And they just didn't care. We would point out that light every night, wouldn't we? Every night we'd tell somebody else to look at it.
And it wasn't in a fixed position. It would sort of bob up and down, but always just above treetop level, and it was beautiful.
And it was there a long time. Like it would be out there from like 10 p.m. till whatever time we went in, which was always really early in the morning. I don't know what that orange light was to this day. I don't think it could have been Mars. I think it was too big and bright to be Mars.
Oh no, that light was Bigfoot. I mean, that was the
Way up in the
I
sky
told
though, because
you-
I'm used
I
to them
told
down on the
you.
ground.
about the Bigfoot experience that I had there, and that was the light that I was communicating with, and it came closer.
See, I forgot all that. All of that is just like wiped from my memory.
It came closer for me, and it got much lower. It was like, I don't know, lower than half treetop level. When it came closer, it got smaller though. And
Do you think that was their spaceship? Like that was where they're
no, I just think that was their consciousness. And then we asked to join us over by the fire pit, and they sort of manifested. They stayed invisible, but you could still see the outline of it. If you've ever seen the movie Predator, you know how when he
Yes.
had the cloaking device on, he just sort of looked watery.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what they looked like. I mean, they were right there. They were huge.
But
They just
you've
looked
been there
watery.
like a dozen times. Wasn't that a different trip?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
this
God.
was
Because otherwise,
after.
I think
This
I
was-
lost my mind.
No,
Because I'm
this
like,
was-
I don't remember that.
This was after you and I were there.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a junkie. I can't stay away from the place.
So
I
you
was
got to
there
the
the
bottom
last
of the
2
orange light.
weekends in a row.
Yeah, can you tell us about what happened the last 2 weekends? And Shane can show your photos.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
I'm so glad that
Uh,
wasn't a weekend that I was there, because then I'm going to say I totally forgot everything. I'm glad it
my
was a
friend
weekend.
and my friend Diane, I have permission to use her name.
Yay.
We had gone. We were staying in one of the meditation rooms, and I was up in the loft, and she was down in her bed, and it was sort of lightly raining, and it was totally cloudy, totally overcast. So Skywatch, we thought, was going to be a wash, just forget about it. So we went to bed. It was like 9:15, and so I climb up into the loft, and she gets a really firm tap on her back. She was laying on her side, and she gets a tap, and she turns around and looks, and there's nothing there. And she tells me about it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking up at sparkles. I mean, it is so sparkly above me right now. It's kind of tripping me out. It just looks like it was raining glitter all over. And she goes, "What? I wonder what that is. Do you think that's the fairies or something?" And I'm like, no, I've seen pictures of the fairies, and they look exactly like a fairy. These just are sparkles. And we were really very giggly before she got the tap. So, and then she says, "Oh, wow, okay, the sparkles are running down the wall now." She goes, let's go outside. So I come shimmying down the ladder, and we go outside, and we look at the mountain because I saw somebody flashing a laser at it. So we get closer, and we're looking, and there's all of a sudden this huge ball of light. I mean, this thing was huge. Lights up at the base of the mountain, and it's just this massive ball of light, and then all of a sudden it just turns into a beam, a huge V-shaped beam of light up to the sky. And it was kind of that bluish, whitish, like starlight sort of light. And there's some guys that were camping along the driveway, had a laser pointer, and they pointed it in front of the light to the neighbor's field where we got the landing. And when the light hit the trees in that field, or the laser hit the trees in the field, the light bends into a C shape and is pointing where the laser hit on the trees.
That's crazy. Light bending? A massive light in the sky?
The beam bent into a C shape. It was I mean, my brain couldn't really wrap around it.
Wow.
So then the guys hit the light, the C-shaped light, with the laser, and as soon as the laser touched it, the light goes up and then swoops around and is pointing back at them.
Where was it coming from? Was it coming from Mount Adams?
It was coming from the base of the mountain.
Wow.
And so it goes up, swoops around, and is pointing right back at them. And that's when my friend Diane says, "I got to go get my phone. I got to get a picture of this." She takes off. She comes back. She holds her phone. She turns on her camera, holds the phone up. As soon as she put that phone up, nothing. Lights go out.
Go out.
And
wow.
So then the guys are like, pointing the laser at the mountain again, trying to get it.
Knock, tap, tap, tap.
Knock, knock. Exactly. Come back. Come back.
Come back. Where'd you go?
And she is going, "Oh," and I'm going, put it down. Maybe it'll come back. And she said,
camera.
"But hold on a minute. I'm getting some good orb pictures. Hang on a second, and I'll put it down." And she got a couple of orb pictures, and then she just held her finger on the button to capture across the field, and then all of a sudden we just go, "Oh, time for bed."
Oh, like programmed. Okay, time to go to bed. Off we
right with all this crazy stuff happening on the field. Both of us just kind of like, "Oh, time for bed." And neither of us remember walking back to our room. Neither of us remember getting into bed. Nothing. We just know that we woke up at 8:30 in the morning in bed, fully dressed, with pictures of...
Fully dressed? Fully dressed? You went to sleep fully dressed?
Oh, yep. I got to look at these pictures.
Oh, this is funny.
Okay, so these are the images.
So that was the orbs that she was seeing that were lit like right in front of us, like maybe 4 feet away. Little bitty orbs.
There's the yellow lights again.
Yep.
Now here they look white.
I see 2 yellow in the middle.
So James said that when we came out, we didn't see those lights with our naked eye, those lights. We didn't see those when she was taking pictures of it, but she just took pictures all the way across the field, and then it was like, okay, time for bed. James said in the middle of the night, well, this was at 11:17, and he said in the middle of the night he woke up with a message that the Palladians were on the Skywatch field. They were landing on Skywatch field.
Didn't he say it was a mothership or something?
He just said it was a Palladian ship, a huge Palladian ship. And so in the morning when we went out, she's a smoker, so we go out to the fire pit where she can smoke. And I just looked down where we sit, and there was Bigfoot prints. It was a mama and a baby. And I think I got pictures of that to you, Shane.
Okay. So is this the heel?
Yeah, that's the heel.
Okay. Wow.
And then
And the
there's
big toe.
Big toe's kind of a dark spot.
Yep.
Right in here?
Yep.
And this would be the side of the foot, like where the pinky toe would be, right?
Yes, correct.
Oh,
That is a
okay.
big foot.
Yeah, it is.
And it's heavy, too. Look at how deep the heel is.
Yeah. Yeah, and the baby's print we couldn't really get because of the way the light was hitting. It just didn't
Come out.
up.
Yeah, it looks
But
like
James-
somebody stepped on here, or this would have even been a better picture. They probably didn't
Yeah.
see it.
Wow. That's a great photograph of a big footprint. And that's another angle.
Yeah, so we saw James come walking out of his house first thing in the morning, and we run over. James, you got to see this, and we kind of hook him by the arms and run over and showed him the Bigfoot print, and that's when Diane was taking pictures of the prints. And she was scrolling back to see all the shots of the prints that she just got, and up came that picture of the ship in the field, and James said, "Oh, you saw it?" And we're like,
Oh,
"Where
you're
is
talking
that?"
about this one, yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, you got a picture of the Palladian ship in the field last night. They told me they were there."
Doesn't that image look like the image of the landing as well? A little
Yeah.
bit?
Definitely,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That little circle of lights?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not
And that-
identical. And what about those yellow lights? Can you guys see the yellow lights on the screen below it?
I guess it really depends. These kind of have a golden hue to them, but
Those
Not-
are the ones I'm thinking look
not
yellow
compared
me.
to these. These are so much more golden to me.
And that's the same landing. It's just a different photo
Oh, it is?
of the same
Oh,
thing.
okay, yeah. It's
Yep.
just more out of focus, I think. Yeah,
More out
so,
of focus.
So you can see it does bring out the yellow in it while it's out of focus. So, yeah, and you're able to see the smaller lights where you're not able to see it when it's out of. They kind of run together, don't they? I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Just one.
There's a
more
lot
clear.
of similarities between your photos. Was that last week, Christine?
Yes, that was just last Saturday.
There's a
Or
lot of
actually,
similarities
that was last
between that
Friday.
and the photo of our landing. I don't know if you can put those side by side, Shane. That would be a big thing to ask.
Let me see.
Which one's the landing? And then
Oh, it was the other folder, wasn't it? Would it be this one?
the first one. One more over.
Oh, okay.
One more.
Okay, let me bring this up here. Whoops.
I know that looks blank. There you go. So comparing that to Christine's shot from last weekend,
Definitely really similar.
Mm-hmm.
the shape of the Big Dipper thingy, and the yellow lights are under it both times. And the yellow light turned up in the field for us that time. Do you think those lights were in the field, in front of you, eye level, or were they up in the sky?
No, she was holding the phone aiming directly at eye level out across the field. So
do you think
this
those
thing-
lights were over by the end of the field in front of Mount Adams, or do you think they were like
No,
really
they were.
close
That
to?
was like in Sky, like right in front of where you sit in the chairs at Skywatch Field. I mean, they would have almost crushed the chairs if they would have actually touched the ground. it was that close. It was like in James's front yard, you know? I mean,
Right.
and
But to
so
the
I see
naked eye, you couldn't
similarities.
see anything.
correct. With the naked eye, we could not see anything.
Well,
And we didn't notice anything on the camera either until the next morning.
Where James was like, "Oh, you captured some photos of it." That's
They're
funny.
like, oh, you saw the Palladian ship. And we're like, what?
so the difference was when we saw it, we spotted it with our eyes and went, "Whoa, look at that. Can you get a picture of that?"
Right.
And then after you got a picture, oh wow, look at that.
But that's cool because it's almost like they can make themselves visible or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe
This
they're
is
always
cool.
visible, but they can make you see them, or they can make you not see them.
This is interesting. What are we looking at here, Christine? Is this?
That's
So
cool.
this is my friend Val and I, Valerie. We were right next to the Palladian Circle. Right. I mean, the Palladian Circle is right to the left.
And you both have orbs over your head, and hers is swooping around her head. Looks like.
Uh-huh.
You got a big one over your head too.
Yeah.
I mean, big. Those are big.
And so at this point, we're trying to call them in. And I said, okay, you know what? They like music. They like dancing. They like blissful, joyous, happy. We got to get silly.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is on her phone because mine, of course, had died because my phone always dies when I'm at ESETI. And she's looking up some good music. And we tried a couple of songs, nothing was really going on. And then I said, okay, let me try a song. And I told her what to look up. And then I said, we need to do, how about if we make up a Sasquatch dance?
Yeah.
And so if you want to go ahead and keep scrolling through, because we're singing right here, you can kind of see your hands are up, we're dancing a little bit. And then, so
Oh wow.
now they start swooping in. And then, yeah, if you want to just keep going, there we go. So now you can see me taking a big step, like I'm doing a Sasquatch walk.
Are they really moving? I mean, that's like a snowstorm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when Gary, Valerie's husband, says, oh my God, you're being bombarded. Keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh my God!
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
I
Oh,
know, right?
wow.
And that's when I would take a big step, and then I would kind of shake my butt. And then I would take a big step, and then shake my butt, you know, and we were doing the Sasquatch walk.
And what'd you call that? A tsunami of orbs?
He said, you're being bombarded. I called it a blizzard.
A blizzard of orbs.
It is.
I've never
Wow.
seen an orb photo like that in my life.
That is
Wow.
wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
they
can see
like
the
that.
big ones going up, and you can see the little ones going around.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely 3D. I mean, you could see these are going in a different direction, and these are, you know, it's got a very 3D nature about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa.
You can see the little swooping around. Like, are they just spinning? Were they just?
Just dancing
And you
around
guys
with
are
you.
moving, so that's why you guys are blurred, because you're moving, you're dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I've never seen orb shots like that before anywhere.
Wild. Let's see.
And then back to nothing. But I don't know
I see
what that
plasma.
is.
I see
I don't
plasma
know
still.
what that is in that top left corner of that picture. We don't know what that is.
What?
Whoa.
There was
That's
nothing
interesting. There's nothing there.
There was nothing
You
there.
think there was nothing there.
Correct.
That looks like something. Gosh.
Right?
Too bad it wasn't turned a little to the left.
Looks yellow again, guys. There's gold on the top
Looks like it's got some kind of structure to it at the bottom,
structure, but you see the gold on the
Yeah.
top?
too. And it looks like it's illuminated too. See how it gets brighter? Is it?
Yeah.
Gosh.
So I feel like maybe those gold lights in the field come off of the ships as drones to see who's in the field. Get a close up. Let's see who's in there.
That's amazing.
I mean, that looks like a drone. That looks like it could be a drone to me, like a very fancy spaceship drone.
Yeah.
Maybe not a human drone.
That's cool. He's able to capture that, though. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, I think that was the last one of that.
Wow.
So you guys
So
have been having a blast. Wow.
now we know we've got an hour's worth of photographs from just 2 visits. So if you haven't had a chance yet to go out to Isetti Ranch
Huh.
in Washington, do
What are
yourself
you
a
waiting
favor
for?
and go. But make sure you go with close family or close friends who also want to have an encounter. Because if you're with people who really don't want to have an encounter, but they're curious, you might not have one. It's like, what do you think, Christine? You got to really be in it to win it.
Yes, you have to really want it. You have to have prepared yourself. Not just I want to see one way like miles above my head. You have to want to see them up close. I want to shake your hand. I mean, otherwise that fear
Yeah,
just
it holds. They don't want to freak anybody out, so they'll stay
they
away
don't.
if you get too freaked out by it, or if you really are in fear about it. I imagine that that would definitely dampen the experience you have.
So it's almost better if you don't know somebody who really loves the thought of off Earth life and meeting off Earth beings. If you don't know someone like that, go alone. It's a very safe ranch. Everybody's very friendly. The rooms are safe and the yurts are nice. And everybody's like, it's like, I don't know, describe it, Shane, when everybody's out there camping. It's like one big family.
Yeah, everybody will just kind of just sort of bring you into their group. There's no cliques, there's no weirdness. Everybody's just like, "Hi, hey, look, we're making this for dinner. You want some? Come on over."
Yeah. And meeting at the fire pit, even if you don't smoke, that's the only place you can smoke. It's a very friendly, chit chatty area. And at least then you have a greater chance of having some real experiences than dragging someone along who is curious but a little bit afraid, because
Or
that will
some
put it
anything
off, that they
skeptical.
won't visit and take you if there's fear or if somebody with you is afraid.
I know. Before we actually do the meditation, I wanted to point out a few things I've noticed. A few of our previous meditations where people would have in media would have the courage to come out and take a stand. I've seen this happen recently, and I was very satisfied. Doctors and nurses also taking a stand. All of these things that we've meditated on before, and the people having the courage, and to see it actually happening now, very encouraging. So I did want to point that out because we talked about our meditations having a positive impact in the past, and to see it
To see the
actually playing out,
evidence.
yeah, it's awesome.
And we asked to see the evidence last meditation last month. Remember, we said, show us the evidence.
Yeah.
And I just saw a newspaper article on the front page in Ireland, and it was spilling the beans on all the truth in a newspaper, mainstream media in Ireland. And I'm like, whoa, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's getting out for sure.
It's getting out.
So, do we have a topic for this?
No,
we?
but tomorrow's the solstice, and
Today's
very powerful.
Juneteenth, actually. We probably
Today's
should have.
Juneteenth?
Yep, today's Juneteenth. It's this. It's officially a holiday now, but
Okay.
a national holiday, federal holiday.
We
But
did our last show on Juneteenth. You guys go back and watch it. It's a pretty
right, and we talked
amazing
about
story.
yeah, but we talked about how it's a Mandela effect for many people. I know people in Texas that because it was a bigger thing there, and they always known about it. But for a lot of us, we've only heard about it in the last few years.
Can you
So.
just describe it briefly for those who didn't see last month's live show?
Well, there was two things we talked about last month. One was the Tulsa race massacre. Did we talk about
Yep,
that?
we did.
Okay, sorry,
We sure did.
it's long time.
Long month.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Juneteenth was actually, I guess, when it's the holiday. I guess it's the date. Since everything moved slowly back then, when the Emancipation Proclamation went out, it took some time to get to Texas and to be announced, and that was the big date. It was announced, and then
The
they made
19th of June.
Right. So
which is called
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Yeah. New to me. Anyway.
New to me. What about you, Christine?
I had no idea.
Well, it's a federal holiday now. They just made it a federal holiday, and I thought, oh, that's going to make people think, because with all the Mandela effects, they always have these little things in there that makes you feel like, oh, maybe that's why I hadn't heard of it. And now that it's been, made a federal holiday, people write it off like, oh, that's why I haven't heard about it, because now it's a big deal, but it wasn't. But,
I think we're just creating this thing as we go. We're just making it up as we go along. And, reality is just happening as, it's like reality is making itself up as it goes along with us.
It's a beautiful thing, though.
It is. It's awesome. It's cool.
Let me check
What
the
do you guys
chat
wanna
and
do?
see if anybody's chiming in on any topics.
Hey, everybody. I'll check the chat later. I can't talk and read and see and speak.
Yeah,
Yes, and Father's Day, you guys. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, yeah. Happy
That's
Father's Day tomorrow.
Yep.
On the solstice. How cool is that?
Very cool. And I think the solstice is actually happening earlier in the day, so we're just a few hours away from.
Somebody said that the Schumann, I haven't checked. Somebody said the Schumann resonance has been off the charts for 4 days. So much that it can't be measured.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I saw that in a video this morning, guys, but I haven't checked it out. I'm just passing it along.
Yeah, I'm looking here. It does look like a pretty big blast. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
4 days of blasts.
We'll take
What do you guys want to do since we spent the whole day on evidence, film, photographic, video, sightings, orbs, landings, and beings? We kind of feel like that window with the 4 beings, whether we're in that window or not. It's all about contact and it's all about disclosure. So can I give a really quick disclosure update?
Absolutely.
And it's no news to anybody because I sent it to you yesterday and you're like, yeah, we talked about that. I'm like, yeah, we did talk about that. So apparently Louis Elizondo, who used to be with the CIA, who was a head of ATIP studying the secret UAP program, which is UFOs. That means UFOs. But if they change the name, then we won't think they were lying for 70 years. So
Right.
Now they're UAPs. Left, still is honoring his disclosure agreement with the government and supposedly was going to warn about the alien threat to humanity. And all the interviews I've seen, he is refusing to do that. He goes, I don't know what they are. I don't know where they come from. We don't know if there's beings involved with them. They could just be metallic drones from the center of the earth or from space with no beings. They could be from Russia. They could be from China. So he's like, he's not giving the answers. He's not allowed to because of his disclosure contract with the government. But he's not saying this poses a serious threat to national security. So he has split with the Academy to the Stars guys. He's left them. And Stephen Greer did a video saying he has contacted my lawyer, Stephen Greer, right? Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind,
Yep.
right? Was his last movie. It's on Prime or something.
Right.
He does conferences all over the world to help people get comfortable with the idea of contact and teach groups how to develop contact with cosmic family. So it's not scary or nothing bad's coming through.
Yeah.
And you do it through meditation and cleansing and drinking clear water, so he's got a good program going. And he said that Alessandro, am I saying his name right? Louis Alessandro contacted his lawyer to find out how he can remove himself from the group of people who are all about the alien threat, Project Bluebeam. And the way they're going is I've been listening to them on mainstream media, the New York Times on video chats, and the Washington Post on video chats. And those who are still in the plan and the program are saying, we don't know what they are. We don't know where they come from. We don't know who made them. Therefore, they pose a serious threat to our national security for the entire globe, or if it is a globe or a flat earth, doesn't matter, for the entire earth. So we need a force, and we need your money. Obviously it's going to be taxpayer funded to create a global force. But before that, we need to study them. So my guess is they're going to ask for a couple of $1 billion of taxpayer money to start an official study for 10 years to find out where these spaceships are coming from and who made them. So to me, that's a non-disclosure. That's like they're not saying these are alien spacecraft from other worlds or other dimensions or other planets or other galaxies. They're not disclosing anything. They're saying there's something in our skies that's not coming from us. We need to study it.
And we need money so that if we see lights, we can shoot at them, right?
Yeah, and eventually we'll need a space force, but first they need the study. The study has to justify the threat.
They need to lower the price of gasoline if they want any more taxpayer money out of it.
Right.
Or food. They could lower the price of food a bit, right?
Yeah.
You see how much chicken costs now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, guys. So I'm just following disclosure, and I'm seeing it kind of bust up and break up a little bit because some people don't want to go down the threat route, and even the government's not ready to go down that route. They need to justify it first with a study.
So they're kicking the can down the road once again.
But they're not disclosing. They're not saying anything that we didn't already know.
Right.
They're there.
Right.
We know they're there.
We can look up and see that they're there. We don't need them to tell us that they're there.
Right.
Maybe they've finally decided to admit they're there because everybody's got a cell phone and everybody's taking videos and photographs of them.
Right.
So they thought, well, now we look really stupid. Let's just say they're there. Okay. We know they're there. They're there. And they're going to call that disclosure.
Because really, it's getting to the point where it only points at their incompetence if they don't see them, right?
Yeah. Incompetence or outright lies.
Right, right. It's either they're outright lying or they're completely incompetent that they don't see what we're able to see with a regular cell phone camera, is my point, So they have to own up to some of it. And they're only owning up to enough of it that they don't look like...
Requires money for a study.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, there is a chance that money, if they do take like $5 billion to do a 10-year study, that could go to some black ops. I've just heard that black ops are all the things that they pay for that we don't know about, just like secret programs. And like ATIP. ATIP was a black op. It was a secret program that we didn't know anything about.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, huh?
Interesting stuff.
Oh, and the last bit of news is I'm not a big promoter of Stephen Greer. Like, I liked him, and then I didn't like him, then I trusted him, then I didn't trust him, and now I'm kind of back on that kind of trust the Stephen Greer whatever mojo. And he announced that he's putting out a new movie on Disclosure that has been crowdsourced funded. So he hopes that we will all take it down off his website and just put it up on our YouTube channels, Facebook, Instagram. He said, have it. It's free. Spread it. Send it to your friends. Play it on your channels. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And it's all about the whole, they're coming to attack and the fake alien invasion, basically.
It's all about the fake alien invasion because Dieter von Braun, our big space guy, before he died, told his assistant that it was in the works. It was already planned that there would be eventually a false, whatever, can't say the word, called Project Bluebeam.
And it's been a while we've been talking about this, and it's really wild to hear that it's finally possibly here, right?
And going back to Christine and that huge light, that beam of light that you actually saw coming off Mount Adams, they have actually captured some of the beams of light on the Skinwalker Ranch show coming off the mesa on History Channel. But because they're a bunch of guys in camouflage running around with guns, chasing aliens every day and every night, they didn't have the same reaction that you guys got with it turning into a sea and bending and moving. It just shoots up straight off the mesa into the sky. And then a couple of them say, I feel sick. One guy had a brain. What is it when your brain swells? And he felt really sick around the beams of light by the mesa, went to the hospital, got his brain x-rayed, and sure enough, there was a lump and a swelling of the brain at the top. So
I
they
think
had
it's all about intent, I mean, intent.
They make everything scary. And then, some of the other channels say that the orbs, they mentioned the blue orbs, they mentioned the rectangular light. And then another history program called UFO Chasers or Hunters, UFO Hunters, says, public, please don't do this at home. Stay away from orbs. If you get near an orb, it'll give you a headache or kill you. Seriously, those were the two options. You either get a headache or you're dead if you walk near an orb. So having said that,
well,
Christine, you were in an orb shower.
I was in an orb blizzard, and I've been in orb blizzards a number of times, so I must have superpowers.
Oh my God, you didn't get a headache and you're not dead.
I did not get a headache. I'm not dead. I actually felt really, really alive.
Isn't that about
kind of
right?
recommending the orb showers as opposed to run and don't do this at home.
Well, I mean, if you're out to kill something or shoot it so you can dissect it, I mean, what kind of intent is that? Of course they're going to probably try to beat you to the punch. Oh, you're a threat? Okay, well, then I'm going to take you out.
Right.
I don't know. I just think they're making it up. I think they're lying. I think
who's
it's
to say
part
that
of
guy didn't?
Project Bluebeam that they're told to tell us that an orb will kill you, because I know tons of people who film orbs and put them up on Facebook. They've never, ever had a bad side effect from an orb. I think they're lying. I think it's part of the narrative.
That's funny. That sounds really funny. Side effects of orbs, doesn't it?
Headache or death. It's kind of like
still
watching.
not as bad as the medications that you see the commercials for on TV. I'd still
exactly.
take an orb.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. When they're like dancing through the fields and going, this medication will cause this, and possibly death. And by the time you get to the death part, they're all really happy and like, I don't know. We live in a strange world.
Really. All right. So, what do we have for topics? What do you think? I'm thinking. Oh, I love your little
What's
orbs.
the chat say?
I'm just looking at orbs. I can't read it, but I can.
Any
see
questions in the chat? Anybody say, I got a question on a photo or anything like that?
Happy early birthday to you, Ravney. Tomorrow's a birthday. Let me see.
Okay.
Questions.
Happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is tomorrow.
Let's see. Yeah, Ravney's birthday's tomorrow.
Hey, happy birthday.
Let's see. Please just pray for me.
Okay. Anybody we know, or just a general hear the prayer, send the energy, the healing energy?
Nothing but positive vibes from the orbs. I don't have any topics, but maybe we should do something for the group and strength to, during this time.
Should we were talking before the show for like 60 seconds. Should we do something for our group to give them strength and healing? Like
Bringing
we
strength
see,
and healing.
we know, we see what's going on, and we just have to keep our energy up, our vibe up, our happiness up.
Definitely. That's really the most important thing right now, because we're really trying to attack it from that consciousness side. I don't use the word attack, but you know what I mean. To approach it. Approaches
Love
it from
warrior.
the.
This is the love warrior Shane speaking.
It's a love-evolution.
Right.
A love-evolution. I love that. A love-evolution. Well, we're straddling two worlds now. I personally don't think we're just going to boom, split off into New Earth. I think it's going to be a process, and I think we're creating New Earth now, and New Earth is starting to emerge now. And I think we got our feet in both worlds right now. We still have to operate on the 3D side of things, get food on the table, get a roof over our heads, but we're also operating on the love train.
Absolutely.
Love that song. So, yeah, we're operating on the love train. Shane did a song like that with his kids, and it's awesome. It just lifts your vibe. So we're kind of like, well, wait a minute. Now I'm in 3D seeing what they're doing, and it's bringing my vibe down. And now I'm meditating and making contact with my guides, my angels, and I'm feeling lifted. So it's kind of hard to play both worlds at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So I think right now strength and healing, because it's taxing on your brain to see all this stuff, and then I don't know, just kind of like, what is it gonna take, But this is
Okay,
exactly
I'm
what
going
it's
to
gonna take.
meditate for strength and healing, but I'm going to show you guys something because this is freaky. It's off topic, but I saw a video last night that said, this is too big for me to put on YouTube. So he put a link to BitChute. I will put the BitChute link in a comment when this live stream posts. So everybody can go watch the BitChute thing. So I watched him and his wife. I don't know them. It's a Mandela Effect channel. And they start taking a magnet and putting it all over their bodies. And the only place, they have not been vaccinated. So the only place it stuck was down their spine and on their chest. So I'm like, hang on a minute. I haven't had the vaccine either, but neither have I stuck any magnets to myself. So I went and got this metal magnet, which is my Chicago magnet. So it's quite heavy. It's made of metal. And on the back is a rubberized magnet. The other magnets I have are metal and hard, and they're just not comfortable. This one works really well. So I just, as an experiment, put the magnet all over. So you're going to hear it dropping. I don't know if you can see it. Like, there's the magnet. And it will not stick. Obviously, I haven't had the vaccine, so it shouldn't stick anywhere, right? Okay. Bear with me, guys. I haven't tested this out in the mirror or anything. We're all going for this just straight from reality. And I put it on my chest, and it sticks. I just did this. There's nothing on my chest. There's nothing on my face or my arm. I can't do my back, so I don't know if it'll stick to my spine like it did the video. It sticks to my chest.
Interesting.
And when I pull it off, I can feel a pull on it. But I'm thinking that's where my heart is. What if the magnet is reacting to the electromagnetism in my heart? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've tried the same thing. I've got magnets. I haven't got it to stick anywhere. But
Have you tried on your chest?
yeah.
By your heart?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't get
I mean, I
any.
can get up, I can move around, I can bend forward. Eventually, it'll fall off.
Right.
That's pretty darn sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
My
know.
mind is blown.
I mean, come on. I can only do the parts of my body that I can reach,
Right.
and it falls off everywhere except for around my chest. I'm leaning
Wow.
forward. Eventually, it will fall off, like in a minute, because right now gravity is pulling it towards the table because I'm not standing straight. So, what the heck? How cool is that? Oh, see, it fell off. It took a while though. Where'd it go? There it is.
Wow.
So, I am magnetized, but I'm only magnetized around my heart. Just putting it out there, guys. Everybody, and this is not a trick. This is a real magnet. And it's metal. It's a metal magnet.
Oh, I know what I'm
Chicago.
doing right after the show.
Chicago, that's interesting.
I know where everybody's going after this show. After the meditation. Don't go away. Let's do the meditation first. Then go stick a magnet on yourself. And I promise I'll put the link of that couple who are Mandela affected, who did it for me, which made me go do it. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So you want to give me some words and some ideas of, is there any areas that our group needs extra help with?
What do you feel like, Christine? Do you feel like I'm feeling like just strength and healing for the overall group? I think if we leave it, it's specific enough because we're supposed to be specific, but people need different types of healing and different strength in different areas. So if we kind of just leave that more open to the individual.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's
Anything
good.
in particular? Is there anything that our group is really struggling with? Like, I don't think so. Anger issues, fear, patience.
Patience would probably.
Patience. I always struggle with patience.
I could
That's one of my big
always
ones.
use help in the area of patience. That's for sure. Especially now, because you're like, oh my gosh, how long is it going to take? I mean, even now, you got we call. I find it interesting. I like to play with words or whatever, but if you think of foul, like something's foul, and you think of energy, like chi, and then you got foul chi, and you got the doctor named Foul.
Fauci. Holy moly,
Right?
that one's a good one.
good, Shane.
So anyway, yeah, it's like, you got people calling for people to get fired, and I'm like, why is this guy not in bracelets, right? So I mean,
Yeah. Oh my
so yeah,
gosh.
so in patience, I'd say patience, healing, strength, and yeah, it's just patience is probably the thing. It's like, man, how long is it going to take, for
I
certain
don't
things?
know, but it's not instant. Life is not instant coffee. It just isn't. Life needs time.
Yeah,
Life is a process.
and
You
it's
got to grow the bean.
and it is like that. It's kind of like, the whole, if you jump in the water quick, or the temperature of the water. A lot of people need to ease into things, because where we might have known about this stuff for decades at this point, there's still people that's like
Oh,
finding out
yeah.
about all this stuff at one time, and it's got to be like, mind blowing, because it's already mind blowing for us who know
And we've
already.
known for some time. Most of us in this community have been pretty awake and aware for a long time.
Yep.
We just didn't have anybody to share it with, you know?
So strength and healing, and
Patience.
I'll always take a dose of patience.
Okay, a dose of patience. I need that for sure. For sure, for sure. Okay. I'm going to put everything. I'm going to take my
And
screen
you
down.
can turn off your camera too. Do you know how to do that, Christine? It's right next to the hang
Yeah,
up
yeah,
button. You
yeah.
can,
We
yeah,
practiced last night. You guys are going
I
to
know.
love my new icon. Here it comes.
awesome.
Shane. Christine's already seen it.
I
Yay!
love it. It's
Oh,
awesome.
how cute.
Shane, can you see my icon? He's gone. He's meditating. He's ready for the meditation.
Okay,
I'm just going to put, Christine, we have to put our mics off now. Do you see the microphone?
got it.
Okay. I'm just going to clear my throat for a minute and take a drink of water. I swear I got a little frog in my throat right now. So forgive me if I have to clear it through the meditation. I'll do it very gently. And I'm just going to bring the microphone closer so I can speak quietly. And just make sure that you're not doing something that requires your full attention right now. If so, just turn the video off and you can go do the meditation later when you're in a safe, quiet space. So go ahead and get really, really comfortable wherever you are, whatever is supporting your body, and just kind of let go of the muscles in your legs from the top of your waist all the way down to your ankles. Just let those muscles go. Relax. Now we're going to do the same for the muscles from our neck all the way down to our lower back. Go ahead and just feel those muscles relaxing, de-stressing, no tension, really loose, really comfortable. And take a deep, relaxing, full breath in, hold it, and exhale out. Any stress, worry, anything, just let it go. Let it go out of your body, out of your mind, into the breath and out. Do it again by taking a nice, deep, relaxing breath in. Really fill up the bottom of your lungs, your tummy's expanding. And exhale out any worry. Let all the thoughts of what might be or what wasn't leave. Third and final deep breath in. Really oxygenate those lungs and exhale out completely. If you haven't already done it, now is a good time to put down a grounding cord from your root chakra at the base of your spine. It's a beam of light that shoots down through the building you're in, right through the crust of the earth. It goes deeper and deeper and deeper. It goes down further very quickly through all the layers of the earth. And when it gets to the center of the earth, it spreads out in all directions, rooting you like a tree. So you are completely rooted. You are completely safe. Go ahead if you like now and imagine a bubble of light, your favorite color. Go ahead and put that light around you if you like. And go ahead and breathe in that color and exhale that color. You can change the color. Breathe it in through your heart center and exhale it back out through your heart chakra. Breathe in through your heart and exhale through your heart. Now you're going to imagine doing what you absolutely love doing more than anything else in this lifetime, this dimension, this world. Imagine you're doing it now and really sense it with all your senses. Who are you with? Are you alone? Where are you? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it look like? Really get into the feeling of doing something that you love. And that's raised your vibration and your energy extremely high. And right now, together, much more powerfully as a group, as the power of one mind, one heart, one love, one humanity, we're going to imagine that everybody who hears these words and does this meditation right now, in this moment, and in the future, we're going to send healing. You can send it as light. You can send it as love. You can just send healing, and you can picture that in geometric shapes or in colors. Some people hear sounds and music when they work with healing. We're just going to heal everybody, just the people in the group who hear the meditation. Whatever they need is what they will receive. They'll decide what they need, and that's what they'll receive. Somebody might need courage. Somebody might need patience. Somebody might need sustenance and financial support. Somebody might need a physical healing somewhere on their body. We're just going to send that now to those of us who work and love so hard here to help humanity, all of humanity, heal. And now we're just going to extend that healing and that love and that light. And we're going to send it to all the family members of the community of people who hear these words now or in the future. And we're going to heal them, whatever they need. We're sending them the energetic, intense, high frequency, love light, healing. And whatever the family members need, our family members need, they will receive, and they will receive it now. You can be specific for certain family members who need certain things fixed or healed, or you can be general and just put it out there, knowing that whatever they need, they will receive. And now we're going to extend that to our community. And it's really easy to start by sending this healing, beautiful, clear, crystalline light of love, however you want to see it or imagine it. We're going to send that to our extended community. We can start with our friends, the friends of everyone who hears these words for this meditation in all time. Do they need peace? Do they need encouragement? Do they need happiness? Are some people really suffering from a lack of joy because of bigger world or social situations? Do we need to send them happiness and joy? Because that's a healing. And now it should be fairly easy that we've gone this far to go ahead and send the same amount of dedicated, heartfelt love, healing, and light to all beings on earth. All beings, be they animal, be they human, be they elemental, all beings, all life on earth is receiving our love and our intention that they may take what they need to heal. That includes the living vegetation and plants. It includes the living minerals and crystals. And it includes the beings of earth that many of us may never see or only occasionally see. Maybe we've only heard about them. But we're going to send them our love in such a powerful, united way that they get what they need right now to heal and be the best possible version of themselves in the here and the now. And we'll go silent now for 3 minutes while we hold this intention. Okay, before you open your eyes, just really feel the peace in the knowing that you received what you needed most with the help and the love of your community right here and right now. And so did your family and your friends and the greater community that we call Earth, humanity, the animals, the plants, the minerals, the organism, the life form of Earth. Just know that that's been done, and maybe we should get together and do it some more in the future. And start to move your neck, your head, maybe circle your shoulders a little bit. Move your feet, your hands, and come fully back, feeling really just relaxed and energetic.
That was beautiful and peaceful.
I still feel peaceful.
Absolutely.
That was good. That was powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Just
I feel
what we needed.
I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone now. I want to keep meditating. I should say, before we go, that my sister and I, Leslie, last meditation, we asked for a sign that we could remember. And I don't know if we did that specifically on contact, because when she was out walking, she remembered seeing in one of her walks up in Boulder a very big white wolf, like a wolfy dog or a wolf. And when she went out, and that's when she meditates. She meditates while she's walking in a very safe way, and like people meditate when they sing or dance or paint, or write. She suddenly saw that it wasn't a wolf that she saw, but it was one of our little gray alien buddies that always seemed to be coming down and doing the collecting and the putting back. So I asked her years ago, I said, would you like to write a book about 3 generations of contact? Because we have a lot to do with the little grays, and they're with our families, they're very, very harmless. And she said, yes, after that memory came back clear of that it wasn't a wolf, it was actually one of the grays. I want to write that book about family contact. And then Christine and I were talking, and I said, I would like to put in our experiences that produced the shots of the landing in the field next to Isetti. Would you like to write a section on your amazing Isetti experiences? And she agreed. And she said, absolutely. So
Absolutely.
hopefully within 1 year, we will be able to, we premiered it here today. This is the first time we've ever shown it to anybody, except for privately. And hopefully in a year, we'll have a little book on Amazon with our contact experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited.
Yeah. And what's cool is more and more people are feeling more comfortable about coming out with. That's the big thing with even though it's not disclosure technically, because we've seen disclosure for years, just having it be so normal will make people feel a little bit more comfortable, even if they're not telling us anything we didn't know already. Just the fact that, like with the Mandela effect, that, people wouldn't talk, family members wouldn't talk about the Mandela effect until there was a movie about it. And then all of a sudden it was serious enough to, like, oh yeah, I know about it. Hollywood's talked about it, right? So.
Yeah, you're right. Any confirmation is good confirmation.
Right.
Right?
Right. Especially for the normies, because they look to Hollywood and mainstream for
And the government
validation.
for confirmation.
Right.
That's a good point. So I'm really excited to actually put down on paper the stories of my sister, myself, and then Christine's experiences at Isetti. And then having so much photographic evidence and in full color, those pictures are going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Of orbs and lights and,
Plus, as much as Christine goes out there, you never know how much more you got to put in there too, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I try to get out there like 3-4 times a year.
It's definitely something I recommend everybody at least do once,
Oh, yeah.
It's fun too. It gets you back to your Girl Scout days of camping, even if you're in the guest house. It just feels really natural and wooded and, up in the mountains, beautiful by Trout Lake.
And I've met the most amazing people, and I've built, the friendships. It's like instant sisterhood with so many people now. I stay in contact with them. We talk every day.
Yeah, it really is. Like I was even telling James about that. I'm like, it's like, I'm like a YouTube hub where people come to meet, but he's like this actual physical place where people come together of like mind and end up meeting and having these connections that last a lifetime. So it is becoming that hub, connection hub for people. That's really the main thing.
Yeah. And you're more everything goes. We come to here to commune with our community about anything. It's like any topic is on the table. And at ESETI, it's definitely oriented towards contact
Hmm.
and cosmic family, getting to know your cosmic family and not being terrified that there is life off of Earth and it's here and it's watching us. And now it's interacting with us,
Yeah.
more
And
than
love
watching,
and
loving.
healing and consciousness, all those things. I mean, at ESETI, it to me it feels that's how life is supposed to be. You just everyone you meet, you have these amazing synchronicities, and you just have these mind-blowing conversations. I learn so much every time I'm there.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Well, that's beautiful. I want to thank you, Christine, for coming and joining us.
Oh, thank you for letting me.
Yeah, it was good seeing you again, and thank you, Eileen, so much for the
Thank you,
wonderful
Shane.
meditation and everything.
Oh, thank you guys for participating in the meditation. And thanks to our group out there. I will go check out your live comments. And thank you, Christine, for coming on.
Gosh, can you believe it? It's like summer. I mean, it's gosh,
It
half
is
the year's
officially
over.
tomorrow. It's
Yeah,
summer officially tomorrow. And happy solstice at tomorrow, everybody. And happy Father's Day. I
definitely.
know the energies on the earth are increased during the solstices and the equinoxes. So,
I will
you know,
definitely be meditating some more, and
me too.
because I think they're powerful now. The solstices and the equinoxes, they definitely seem to be powerful. So,
I'm going to go to maybe Dana's gongs. There's a woman near me who plays amazing gongs, and they're huge, and it is an incredible experience. So I think I'll do that tomorrow.
I've got a little tribe here with my family or whatever. I'll just probably bust out our little finger drums and get a little drum circle
That would
going
be
in my
so
living room.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Bust out the singing bowls and everything. So,
Yeah,
I
maybe
got a
record
singing
it.
bowl for my birthday this year
really?
at ESETI. Yeah, my mom gave it to me at ESETI with his beautiful flower of life pattern
Oh, that's
on it,
awesome.
and it just oof gives me goosebumps every time I play it.
That's so cool.
Is Sandy still in that one Sandy had? It was she had it at in Austin, but man, it would make me feel so dizzy when she got that going in the room, and you could feel the energy like moving around the room when she had it
Mhm.
going. It was a crystal, one of the big crystal bowls, but
That's
wow,
cool. Well, who knows what will happen and when our next meetup will be for Unbiased on the Fence. You never know. It might be soon, and it might be somewhere really, really special.
yeah, I'd still like to get together in Georgia, Savannah, somewhere like that.
Yeah, and do
East
ghost
Coast.
tours. Oh
Yeah,
God, that'd be fun.
that'd be
See how
fun.
many ghosts we can get on our film, on our phones.
Well, we love you guys so much. Thanks for joining us here now and in the future now that you might be watching this.
Thanks so much, guys.
Lots of love, light, and unity. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.